This episode of Cognitive Dissonance is brought to you by our patrons. You fucking rock.
Okay. The Kentucky incest thing is real, I swear to God. I used to work in personnel in the Indiana National Guard, and we had all kinds of soldiers coming in from Kentucky. And you figure when I was doing this and how old they were, so 40 years ago, Kentucky birth certificate said, on the birth certificate, there's a space that said, are the mother and father related, and if so, how? It's real, it's expected. Glory hole.
Hello there, it's Shane calling from Calgary, Canada. I've been listening to you guys since almost the beginning, and I'm sorry I didn't call sooner. I was just taken back with my Ryan eggnog and thought there's no dude good if those guys are better than a hockey game at the Crown Royal Center, eh? Glory hole, you hoser.
Be advised that this show is not for children, the faint of heart, or the easily offended. The explicit tag is there for a reason.
Recording live from Glory Hole Studios in Chicago, this is Cognitive Dissonance. Every episode we blast anyone who gets in our way. We bring critical thinking, skepticism, and irreverence to any topic that makes the news, makes it big, or makes us mad. It's skeptical, it's political, and there is no welcome mat. This is episode Shitty Band 311.
It is.
That band sucks.
That band does suck.
God, that's a fucking shit band.
They had a couple of songs that they would play on the radio all the time. This was when I was much, much younger because the band, they're probably all dead at this point. They're probably all dead. They're as dead as Glenn Miller at this point.
Jesus.
But
Glenn Miller.
they're like as dead as Dave Brubeck.
Hey, maybe you want to take a swing out of the dance
What do you
floor.
say?
Hey, doll, hey, baby kicks.
You ever heard of Take Five? Anyway,
Take Five? Is that by the Dave Brubeck?
it certainly is.
You know, if you know anything about jazz.
If you know anything about jazz, you know
Take Five.
You know Take Five. You've heard it before. But much better than 311. I remember they used to play
Everything's better than 311.
They played the shit out of those songs, though.
They did.
Growing up.
311's like...
There was that one song where God, how does it go? It's like... something about your energy, something about your energy. You know
Oh, God, now it's in my head. Oh!
God, it's so
That
bad.
shit is fucking awful.
Oh.
You know, it like...
It was like talking about like karma or some shit. I don't even remember, but it was like
fucking
terrible.
It was the worst. It was the worst.
God, it's like getting fucking blown by Ramtha.
It's
like,
worse than that, actually, because Ramtha's got some technique.
I'd finish on her face.
She takes her teeth out. And
I'd finish on her 10,000-year-old face.
Oh, shit. But 311's like Sublime. You know what I mean? Like they're that
Is that the same band? Did I mess up? Is
I
that
don't
the
know.
same
I don't
band?
know. But they're the same
Hold on,
garbage category of shit music.
Now I need to know. Hold on a second. I might have messed up because that might have been Sublime. Let me just double
They're
check.
so bad. Do not play the song.
Hold on. I gotta
what
get
the
to the middle
fuck
of
is
it.
wrong with you? No, it's just. Oh, it's that part. Oh.
That hurts. It's so bad.
Can't you play something more soothing like the death rattle of my only child? That's terrible. God.
Or the judge reading your divorce proceeding over and over and over again.
That was the sweetest music I ever heard.
So
that's awesome.
We may have one or two people that found our show from the last show that we did, right? So we did the last show that we did was with Michael Wood Jr. And
we didn't mention
it. I had a fucking.
Is he David Smalley's friend?
Yes, David Smalley's friend. And so we didn't mention it, but anyway, the people that found us through that, they might be thinking that this is like an interview show, but that's like kind of not what we do really at all. So, so this is it. Welcome.
This is it's just the two of us. Here we go. You can barely stomach it.
No, really, it's not going to be fun for you.
That's a warning I frequently give right before. I'm like, hey, this isn't going to be fun for you.
It's like penal. You know?
I brought this for you to bite down
It's
on.
really not going to be fun. Yeah,
just press your head into the pillow and...
No, honey, I don't use lube.
Oh, God, Jesus.
I just use hope.
And she's like, I hoped you had lube. It's
okay. She's not going to feel it, man. What are we kidding?
Oh, God. Are you going to start? Start, baby. I finished.
Again? Sure.
I need like 5-10 minutes.
I'm going to phone a friend.
That's terrible. All right.
It's better than polling the audience, dude.
You don't want to poll the audience like, what'd you guys think? No?
No. Yeah.
East Germany gave me a 3.
Everybody's holding up like less than 1.
It's the Olympics.
Yeah.
They're just burning their placards. They won't even hold a number on it.
They're all infecting themselves with Zika as fast as they can get it.
According to a recent poll, 49.3% of the people in New York believe that our leaders knew the 9/11 attacks were planned and that they intentionally failed to act. Are 49.3% of us just fucking crazy?
This is Rudy Giuliani. Now, we have a little disagreement on what he's intending.
Why don't we
here.
play it first?
Let's play the clip.
It first.
Play the clip.
This has been going all over the internet, though. A lot of people have been commenting about this. This is Rudy Giuliani on Right Wing Watch. We're going to let his own words hang him. He says no terrorist attacks occurred during the Bush administration.
Mike Pence understands this.
I would argue Mike Pence understands very little.
Right?
He certainly doesn't understand basic economics of his state. Let's go there.
Well, depressingly, though, Indiana's doing better than Illinois in like every other and every conceivable measurable
but we got Rauner.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not like it's going to get any better.
It's not. It's so bad.
I certainly wouldn't trade a Rauner for a Pence.
Well, I mean, come on, dude.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, what do you want to have? Diarrhea or vomiting? I don't know. Like,
is there any way I could develop a rash?
Like, can't I just like?
Can I spin the medical side effects wheel and hopefully land on fucking soreness in the back of my throat? Is there any way I can get that?
Is appendicitis an option? Can I have?
All I want is the one where they put you under, you wake up and you just eat a bunch of ice cream. Whatever that one is, I want that
That's the one. That's the one I want.
Yeah.
That's actually how I want to live my whole life. I sleep, I wake up, I eat ice cream.
Every day you get anesthetized and you wake up and they just force feed you ice cream until you get anesthetized again.
You just wake up, you're like, my heart hurts.
It's like,
give me ice cream.
It's like the life of a foie gras goose, you know?
Why is that a bad life?
It's not a bad life.
Why is that a bad life?
I love that life. Just use that
I already have the fatty liver.
To force the food into my gob.
From his time both on the Foreign Affairs Committee, from his very, very timely visit, which I remember, to Ground Zero.
Okay, hold on. Let's talk about a timely visit.
Did he show up right as it was happening? No, he probably heard about it just like the rest of us and then showed up.
That's like saying like, hey man, I really appreciate your timely visit to my dad's funeral. Yeah, it's like literally the least I can do. Like if I don't do that, that makes me a bad guy.
Yeah.
Right? It's like,
awesome.
Hey man, something kind of tragic happened in my family. Huh? Well, I'll be there to comfort you in about 6 to 8 weeks. Like, what? Are you kidding me? Like,
it's not like this guy had to plan this into his phone months in advance.
Oh, hang on a minute. I can't cancel any plans for 9/11. For fucking 9/11.
I'd love to come, but my kid has a recital.
Yeah, right?
When we were in desperate need of help, he was there.
But what did he do?
He just fucking showed up. He might have moved a brick. Like, what the fuck did the guy do?
He didn't show. He's not a fireman, right?
Fucking inhaled a bunch of dust like the rest of them. You know what I mean?
Man, I'm Mike Pence.
The difference is,
can I help?
The difference is that if he develops cancer, he'll have coverage.
Oh no. He's not. He didn't get close enough to develop cancer.
That's true. No, he is a cancer. So
he just develops himself.
And from his work on Judiciary Committee.
He couldn't say it. He couldn't say it.
Remember his work on what did he do, Trump? Did he do anything ahead of time before he said he hated gay people? Was there anything else he did?
And helping to fashion the Patriot Act. By the way, under those 8 years, before Obama came along, we didn't have any successful radical Islamic terrorist attack in the United States.
Right. During the 8 years before Obama came along, we didn't have
any
Go.
What
about 9/11? Did you miss that one when you were literally the governor of the state? Mayor sorry, of the city where it happened?
That's the only important city in that state anyway. It doesn't matter.
Nobody cares about the rest of New York.
Nobody cares about the rest of New York. When people say you live in New York, they think you live in the city. And if you say, oh, no, I live in fucking
Buffalo or
whatever,
yeah.
they're just like...
People just look at you like, that doesn't seem like a place.
Yeah.
So New York, right? Where the garbage is in the streets and the...
Where the garbage juice flows in the gutter.
where the garbage is in the streets and the pizza's floppy and flaccid. New York.
It's pretty good, actually. So I wanna argue the case for Rudy Giuliani.
Okay. All right.
Rudy Giuliani, I think, here is referring to after the Patriot Act has come into place, and he's saying there wasn't any major terrorist attacks after Pence helped pen the Patriot Act, which was from the time that it was penned and put into law until Obama took office in January of 2009, 7 years, 5 months. So I think he's rounding up when he shouldn't be, but I don't think that he's saying that 9/11 didn't happen because he literally just mentioned 9/11.
I don't think he's saying 9/11 didn't happen either. I think he's just speaking so poorly. And the idea, I actually have a hard time understanding how he's even, because when he says it, what he says is in the 8 years before Obama, we didn't have any radical Islamic terrorist attacks.
But that's true.
Fucking had the biggest one.
Isn't that true though? No, it's not true.
No.
It's 7.5 years.
Yeah, the biggest, literally the biggest, bestest one, the most much one.
I think he's rounding up.
I think it's fucking. He's trying to blame Obama.
No, I don't think he's doing that.
I don't think he's not blaming him for 9/11. I think what he's doing is he's trying to say that we are less safe under a democratic regime, right?
Maybe that's true.
And that's an absurd concept because under the fucking prior dude, you had 3,000 people annihilated, right? And then what do we have under Obama? We had a couple of, we've got handfuls here and there.
Blips here and there. But the thing is, you got to understand, I think he's arguing and saying, yeah, we kind of fucked up, but we fixed it.
Oh, I see what
you know. What I mean?
Okay, all right. No, I understand.
We passed the fucking Patriot Act,
and then it worked for.
And then it's fucking amazing, dude. Because patriots are great.
They act. That's the thing. Before the Patriots couldn't act.
They couldn't act,
right? But then we wrote this thing down.
Then we sent them to Juilliard. Fuckers can act up a storm. There is a little more of this. I just want to play it to make sure that we're on the right track.
All right.
They all started when Clinton and Obama got into office.
Okay. Well, they didn't all start there. I will say that. They started a long time ago. With the U.S. coal bombing. You know what I mean? Like there was a lot of, maybe it wasn't on our soil, but at the same time, there's been a lot of terrorist attacks against the United States.
Right.
They didn't just start then.
Right. Well, it's like getting fucking worked up about Benghazi as if Benghazi was the first embassy. It's this selective reading of history, you know? And Obama didn't repeal the Patriot Act. The Patriot Act's still a thing.
Yeah.
So if the Patriot Act was your big shining example of
Patriot Act is the reason why everything's safe.
Right. So it's like it'd be like saying look, somebody broke into my house and they stole all my shit. And then I put this awesome lock on my door. Oh, okay, it must be a really good lock. Oh, it's an awesome lock. Nobody's broken into my door since then. Well, then later they broke in again. Well, did you change the lock? Is there a different lock? No, same lock. Same lock on the door. But just somebody else was home.
They just didn't steal my TV. They only stole my rings.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, then the lock didn't fix the problem, you stupid shit. I'm actually pointing at the door while I'm making this analogy.
You are pointing at the door.
I'm just making analogies of whatever's in my...
You aren't just pointing at the door. You are gesturing wildly.
I am gesturing wildly. I get very excited.
Abortions for all. Very well. No abortions for anyone. Abortions for some, miniature American flags for others.
This story also from Right Wing Watch. Basically, all these stories are from Right Wing Watch. They do such a good job of compiling good audio clips, though. Anti-abortion group wants to accost Clinton with actual unborn children at campaign events.
Ooh,
so
let's play
this is Mark Harrington. Now, he's the head of the anti-abortion rights group called Created Equal.
But let's be real clear here. In this, he makes sure to mention that he's not doing it based on that.
But I want to talk about that when he mentions it because he immediately says something funny.
Great.
Hi, Mark Harrington here, coming to you from the Hillary Clinton campaign stop here in Columbus, Ohio.
Is she playing Roar?
I'm gonna hear me
Is that the name of that song?
Yeah, it's
I know,
awesome.
I masturbated to a bunch of times, but I don't know the name of the song. It's normally down. Normally the volume's down, so I don't know. But
I've listened to all of Katy Perry's music carefully.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've seen all her videos a lot.
Don't have
in slow motion, but I didn't. I think I recognize that
now.
song.
Yeah.
Hold on, don't let me play my ringtone. Okay.
Can you imagine? Hold on a second. Can you imagine as like a hetero dude in the world walking around, your phone goes off and it's fucking Roar?
Well, the worst part is that it's like Pavlov's dog. I'd get a boner. I'm just so used to wanking it to this song.
It's like all of a sudden you're like back in 6th grade. You're just like, sorry, I don't know. Just there was a light breeze and I got hard immediately.
I just have my wife call me all the time. Can you call me? And can you wear this name tag that says
Katy Perry on it?
So, Tom, what's it like being divorced? Because I'm going to know that real soon. It's going to be,
It's freeing. You're free to eat cereal over the sink or cry yourself to sleep. I mean, you're free to do whatever you want.
As she's touring the Midwest with her vice presidential candidate, Tim Kaine. As you can see the crowd behind me gathering for the rally. I'm here to announce a new project, and this is not as the national director of Created Equal. This is not a Created Equal project.
This is the best.
He went out of his way to be like, oh, hold on, just so you know.
It's like, hold on a minute, because I don't want to lose my funding.
I just want to
lose my
say
tax
to
exempt
everybody, I can't, whatever it is, I can't say it out loud. I can't say I'm against Hillary Clinton because I'm totally not. But I don't like that she does bad.
But then the best part is what he's going to say right here.
Itself, and that is because we do not support or oppose political candidates for elective office. I'll be doing this as a private citizen, and the plan is this. My plan is that for me and those I direct, under my direction across the country.
Well, wait a minute. If you're a private citizen, who do you direct?
Right.
In what capacity? I love that he goes out of his way to secure his IRS tax exempt status as a church leader, right? He's a church leader. He can't support or comment really on political candidacy. And so he's like, okay, I'm not doing it. But as a private citizen, me and the people I direct, as a private citizen, I don't direct anybody.
Yeah.
The only time I can act in a role where I'm directing people is if I'm your boss or
some kind of
I'm
business.
a leadership position,
right? Like you have a movie you're making.
Or if you're the pastor of the church, for example. Right?
To personally present presidential candidate Hillary Clinton with an unborn baby before November 8th.
Where do we get them?
What's weird about that is that you essentially have an unborn baby, so you're willing to sacrifice at least one. You're willing to at least say, okay, hey, buddy, you got to take one for the team. Sorry, man. Here's the thing. We got to have you take one for the team. I know you're unborn, and you really can't hear me and communicate, but we're going to have to reach up there, pull you out, maybe with a coat hanger. I don't know.
We got choices.
And also, to be honest, we've kind of got to mangle you a little.
Oh, Jesus, man.
Look, if it's a perfectly pristine little baby, nobody's going to care.
It doesn't tug the heartstring as bad?
But if its arm's hanging off by a string, that's a big deal. You know what I mean?
How does he think this works? Like a woman goes in and gets an abortion, and she comes out with a doggy bag?
The worst part is actually shipping these things around. The only way you can do it is through Amazon Prime, but that's only if it's your firstborn. You know what I mean? That's the only way they'll do it.
Where does he think everyone's going to come up with all these unborn babies?
I don't know.
You're behind the Planned Parenthood, like diving in the dumpster, and there's just you're holding one up.
We're making fun of him. He really is just talking about science.
And you're just like,
he's just talking about science, though.
Wait a minute, this one's still good. It's not past its expiration date. Best if born by.
Admittedly, once you break the seal, everyone's past its expiration date.
Refrigerate after open. It's like a beer. It's got a born on date.
Oh, Jesus. And like a beer, it can smell a little sour. Yeah. Just so you know, we're never getting elected to anything.
Oh my God.
For the show.
I can't let anyone I know ever listen to this
I just want to
program.
say though, real quick,
That's terrible.
like he's clearly talking about signs. He's not talking about a real baby, right? Right, right, Tom. Is he commanding all of his underlings to fucking shit out babies early? Is that what he's doing?
I wouldn't put anything past these guys at all. Like,
maybe he's just hoping one of them will have a miscarriage and they can scoop it up with like a fishnet out of the toilet.
He's got like one of those pool skimmers.
Honey, can you get the spider? No, I need the one we use when we deep fry. I need that one. Throw a little cheesecloth on it. I don't think I'm going to get it all.
I don't want to lose any good cheese.
Oh, and can you bring the plunger?
I don't want this anymore.
Yeah, put the plumber on speed dial. No, this is definitely going to clog up the pipes for sure. No, it's not going to be pretty in there. Yeah, bring the Febreze. No, I don't want to name it.
Call her to defend the unborn. You understand there's a history with the Clintons, right? The Clintons for decades have been, her and her husband, that is, Mrs. Clinton and her husband.
Oh, we fucking knew who you were talking about. We didn't think it was Chelsea. Like,
what the fuck are you talking about?
Her and her husband. Oh, wait, there was a Mr. Clinton, too?
Oh, fucking George Clinton? Was him?
the fucking all-stars. What the fuck?
Have been vocal supporters, probably the most outspoken supporters of abortion killing in the United States. As First Lady, as U.S. Senate representative from...
Senator. The word you're looking for is senator. Women can be senators. You idiot.
And
you fucking
senator.
nincompoop.
Love the suit.
And Senate girl person. He seriously paused. He's like, what do you call
a Senate woman?
Like, what do you call a lady senator? Senator, you stupid asshole. You're so misogynist you can't even get there.
New York, and as Secretary of State, and now the nominee for the Democrat Party for president, she has been a vocal supporter of late-term abortion, infanticide.
Infanticide?
No one is a fan of infanticide.
Well, you could argue that in the Bible they bash babies' heads on rocks, and
they do.
And God did kill all the babies during Noah's Ark.
And well, that's so very true.
Would that
right?
be infanticide?
It would be if it had happened, which it of course did not. And then there's of course the Abraham story, right?
But they didn't kill the baby though.
And it was almost.
He was a walk-in kid at that point.
Oh, you're right. That's not infanticide. That's
like
murder.
It's just straight up murder.
It's just straight.
It's murder in his heart, Tom. He never actually killed them.
Oh, right.
Because God said, "Take these back."
I know, right? That's such a terrible story.
Now with the Democrat Party platform, including tax funding for abortion and the repeal of the Hyde Amendment, clearly this is the most extreme candidate that we've ever seen on the presidential scene. So I feel
God, he's so boring.
He's so boring.
Oh my God, I'm yawning. I'm so bored.
This guy sounds
so
super
bored.
fun. Can you imagine hanging out with this guy?
Incumbent on those who claim the name of Christ to be a prophetic witness to call her out for her support of child killings. That's why I and the others I will direct will be attempting to personally confront Mrs. Clinton with the victims of abortion. I'm under no illusion this is going to be easy. And we do this, we'll do it lawfully, we'll do it civilly, and we won't disrupt or rally or events, but we'll be looking for opportunities to gently but firmly request that she help stop the slaughter of unborn children by showing her the victims themselves. So,
why do you care that you don't want her in office anyway? You don't want her to help stop that. You don't.
I think maybe.
Yeah.
You think maybe he's trying to change her heart? You think maybe like I'll be the one actually playing devil's advocate in this position. Like maybe he thinks he can change her mind and change her heart and be like, here's a dead baby that'll make you feel different.
The problem is that every single one of those pictures, I've never seen one that's like, this is a real baby. It's all like when you look it up, it's like, yeah, that's not a fucking abortion.
Well, right, that's for sure. Like whenever you see those like protesters, they're holding up those awful fucking images that are just like, here's something unbelievably traumatic to just drive by on the highway, and you're like, none of that shit, none of it is actually like actual abortion photos. You're absolutely right, But I part of me thinks that he's suggesting that they hand him a baby. Like here is like a fucking mason jar with like a little dead baby floating in it.
I think it's only creepy if they bring it in a stroller.
oh, Jesus. Oh, fucking rotten down and everything. Just, Jesus, man. in a stroller.
All right, I'm done. I'm sorry.
I don't want to even have this.
I'm sorry.
Fucking burn the tape.
I'm not sorry.
Burn the tape.
It's only creepy when they try to rock it to sleep.
Jesus. No, it sleeps very easily. It's creepier when they try to rock it awake.
No, yeah.
Oh shit! It's still good. It's still good.
Okay. No. I said a bunch of crazy shit, Tom. You win.
I don't want to.
You win.
I don't want to do this anymore.
You win. Oh, you're good, baby. Aren't you good? Oh, here comes the choo-choo. Open your mouth.
You gotta reattach the jaw.
She's just pressing it to her breast. It's not doing anything at all. It's just a smear at that point.
That's so gross. You're a monster.
Want to contact the guys? Go to dissonancepod.com to get links to their Google+, Facebook, and Twitter accounts. If you want to contact them directly, send an email to dissonance.podcast@gmail.com. Or you can call and leave a message at 740-74-DOUBT. That's 740-743-6828. Do you want to support the show? Go to patreon.com. That's patreon.com/dissonancepod. Or click the link on the podcast homepage, and you can donate to the production of Cognitive Dissonance on a per-episode basis. If you can't spare any money, take a second to give us a 5-star review on iTunes or Stitcher, or spread the word about the show. We want to send a big, heartfelt glory hole to all the patrons and people who rate us. You fucking rock.
This story is from Right Wing Watch. This is a Trump story. We got a couple of Trump stories. This guy is detonating his own. He is destroying his candidacy.
Did you see?
He's so wonderful at this point.
Did you see what the human blob Michael Moore wrote?
No.
This week he wrote.
No, you sent me the thing before. It was like he's gonna win, and I cried and I cried.
No, this is different. This is Michael Moore, best candidate ever for bariatric surgery. He wrote a piece about how Trump never thought he was ever going to get this far, and he only did it for negotiating his TV series, hoping that he could. That was his speculation.
That's
right?
amazing.
And that he's trying to sabotage himself because he doesn't want to do it. Doesn't want to do it. Imagine turning him to imagine turning him into a more sexist, more racist type. And I'm just saying
more?
So take Trump and his tiny little hand smacks the ass of one of his aides.
Sure.
And he comes out in blackface.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that he would go down
in his polls. I don't think so either. The people that have decided that they're pro-Trump, they're in love with this guy because finally they've got like a racist in chief, right? They're able to say like, I also hate people of color. Finally, somebody speaks for me. You know,
I don't think all people, but I think that there are a lot of people. I think that there's a few people that might not be. I don't know that they're racist per se, but I think that there's people that see immigration as a problem.
Sure, yeah.
Maybe they're a little xenophobic. Maybe there's some people out there that just want to see a change in Washington, period. You know, away from a politician.
Yeah, and I will. Okay, so fine, you're right. There are definitely people who are just anti-establishment generally, right? You know, But geez, man,
I think that this is, this is the wrong way to, in my opinion, to be anti-establishment. I think that there probably was an anti-establishment candidate that might have been better off with Bernie. In my opinion, would have been a lot better than this. This feels like pulling the pin on a grenade.
Yeah, I mean,
it's inserted in your ass.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like this is.
It's seeing a spider in your house and burning down the whole neighborhood.
And burning down America.
Right? You're like, spider. And you're fucking throwing flares at things.
Exactly. Yeah, you basically said, you know what? I just give up on the whole thing. Is there any way we could start a brush fire that starts in New York and ends in California?
Right?
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Well, let's play him. This is the Second Amendment remedies to stop Hillary Clinton. There's a bunch of these we're going to play in a row, though.
Hillary wants to essentially abolish the Second Amendment. By the way, and if she gets to pick...
As president, Hillary will expand background checks, take on the gun lobby, removing the industry's sweeping legal protection for illegal and irresponsible actions, and revoking license from dealers who break the law, keep guns out of the hands of domestic abusers, other violent criminals, and the severely mentally ill. And that's it.
That's totally all as far as I'm concerned.
It's on her website.
Yeah.
I mean, I suspect that she's saying they shouldn't have. She says at the top, "I believe weapons of war have no place in our streets." So I suspect that there's some level of
She's referring probably to assault
weapon type things.
Yeah, right.
Which again is not a perfect distinction.
Right, and
we know
we're going to get email like there is no such thing as an assault. Okay,
we understand, but you know, I'm thinking of carbine type rifles, things like that. You know what I mean? Like
we're reading between the lines about what she's.
Yeah, I don't even know exactly. Right. He's saying abolish. That doesn't sound accurate.
Yeah, well, because he's making that up. Yeah. And also, a president cannot abolish an amendment.
Yeah.
There's a process for
a big, long process. Yeah. It's just like when Pence said, we're going to overturn Roe versus Wade.
How are you going to do that?
Well, you can if you get, Ginsburg drops dead and you appoint 3 judges or something.
Sure, yeah. and then the right case comes up.
But
through
the right
system,
case has to come up.
And they would have to
system.
babysit a case through the system to get it up and agree to.
It would actually have to make it to him,
right?
Which it might not, right? Depending on the judges,
right? Depends on it. Have to make it all the way through the appellate court.
Yeah,
right. It would have to.
They have to make it there first, so that you can't just say we would, because you're like, that's not how this works.
And that's the whole point I was trying to make, right? Is that the president doesn't have, no matter who it is, doesn't have unilateral powers of discretion. There's executive actions that they can take for sure, but with respect to things like amendments, there's no
amendments and case law that is currently
right. They can't just
you can't just walk in and be like, hey guys, you know that thing you did with gay marriage? That's not a thing anymore.
Right. We don't have an emperor.
Yeah.
Right. It's not an emperor.
Yeah.
If she gets to pick her judges, nothing you can do, folks. Although the Second Amendment people, maybe there is, I don't know. But
he's making a joke. It's a bad joke, and it's an off-color joke, and it's not a presidential joke.
And I think he's not. I don't think. Here's the problem. He's making a joke, but he's making a joke to a wide enough audience of people that it is not unreasonable to think that there could be somebody who's unhinged.
Yeah, and an arguably volatile group of people, too.
So you've got a group of people that is, it's wide enough. He's casting a wide enough net with a joke like that and making a joke in terms like that are not terribly clear that that's a joke. And like you said, it's not presidential. You kind of shouldn't joke about potentially assassinating somebody.
You can do that. I think that's actually really, really frowned upon, because we can't even say anything like that on our show. We would not be able to say like, I'm not going to say it, but like, to say threaten Barack Obama's life or something. Right.
But I'll tell you what, that will be a horrible day if Hillary gets to put her judges. Right now we're tied. You see what's going on? We're tied because Scalia, this was not supposed to happen.
He wasn't supposed to die?
Yeah, it wasn't supposed to happen. There was is there a plan of succession?
Yeah. Well, let me tell you something. You know who's going to argue that fact? Scalia's heart.
Right. Scalia's fucking widow.
Yeah.
There's no way that you can look at a man like Scalia and be like, oh, really surprised he didn't make it even longer, right?
Jesus Christ.
I was surprised he could make it to the subway. Like that's a guy.
I'm surprised he could ride an escalator. Fucking kidding me?
Justice Scalia was going to be around for 10 more years at least.
Why do you say that? Where does that come from? Where does that come from? Like, we put another good 10 years. That's like being surprised that your car broke down. Be like, it's only at 100,000. I thought I'd get 150 out of it.
Motherfucker was 80 years old.
And we were going to get another 10 years out of him?
He was fucking almost 80. I mean, almost 80. He made it like 1 month. He's 79 and a half.
Yeah, and Trump thinks we're going to get another 10 years out of the guy. The guy's 90 years old.
He's fucking 80 years old.
I guess I'll retire
80
now.
80 years old, fucking 100 pounds overweight. Fucking doesn't look like he's fucking lifted anything heavier than a pen in 50 years.
And we're surprised.
He's the kind of guy that his fat folds fit into his robe. Where the robe is a little tight. And you're like, how the fuck is a justice robe's a little tight on you?
Right? This is a guy whose fucking bathrobe, the little cinch around thing, gets lost in between. Like you find it about a week later. You're like,
Jesus Christ. It's the kind of kid that holds his grandkid and it starts nursing. This is Donald Trump talking about voting and evangelicals. So I'm going to play this.
This is great.
And I want you to pay attention to this.
Okay.
Just pay attention to how he talks.
Oh, it's amazing. I know. He sounds like a third grader. He sounds like a third grader.
He sounds like an imbecile. He really sounds like an imbecile.
I'm being on. When I listened to this, I was listening to this in the car. I listened to this and I thought, my son is going into fourth grade. If my son were this inarticulate, I would hold him back. I would hold my son back from transferring.
You'd quit your job and teach him.
I would have to. Yeah. Somebody would.
Yeah.
Somebody would. Or we'd have to fucking institutionalize it.
That is a great way to put it. Inarticulate.
This is a guy who part of his job, were he to become president, would be to be articulate. His job, his actual wake up and go to work every day job would be to articulate our position as a nation,
right?
And negotiate and be diplomatic and engage in dialogue with leaders of the rest of the world.
Sure.
Literally being articulate is the least he has to bring to the table.
Could you imagine,
in order to have this job?
Could you imagine this guy giving a speech where he has to console a family that lost someone in like a terror attack?
Oh my God.
Could you?
It wasn't great. It wasn't great. It could have been more great.
We could have been involved a little more. You know what I mean? I just feel like this guy just.
It was very bad. Very bad. The bad thing was bad. It was a bad thing that bad happened.
Him consoling it.
Yeah.
And that's just one part of the job. There's many other parts of the job. That's just one that I cannot imagine him doing. So let's listen to him. Here's Trump talking about getting into heaven.
You get everybody out to vote in Florida, and if you get everybody out to vote in, like Virginia, like Pennsylvania, like Ohio.
What do you mean? Why is he saying like before all the states that he lists? He says if you get everybody out to Florida, and then he moves on to states like Pennsylvania, like Ohio.
That's admittedly.
What is the state like Pennsylvania?
What's the state like Ohio?
There's no
state of despair, I think, is probably the one that I would go with. I don't know any other ones.
And some of the other states.
And some of the other ones. If you get everybody out to vote in the states nearby the states I mentioned, I can't think of very many states. I'm not sure what their capitals are.
Wouldn't it be interesting because I don't know the capitals of all the states, but like it would be awesome to hand him and Hillary Clinton a map of the United
and have
States
them fill it in?
And like geography class have to.
That would be fucking amazing. He would just write America across the whole thing.
I wonder.
It's United States of America.
There's part
I filled
of me
it
that
out.
wonders. Now, I know with some of the eastern seaboard states, I would probably fuck up a few of them.
Oh, I wouldn't get it right either. No, I mean, like, once you get up into that Delaware-ish region, like, I would just circle the whole thing and write New England.
Yeah, exactly. There's a couple of them I'd be like, is that a Connecticut or a New Hampshire? I don't know.
Yeah, and there's plenty of states I'd forget. Like, we got an email from someone from Maryland, and I was like, oh, there's a Maryland. I forgot about that.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think some of the bigger ones that are off to the left are pretty easy. But then you must start moving over to the right. There's a lot of smaller states, and it's a little harder. The left coast. But I would be curious to see what either one of them would do on a map like that. How well would you know that map? Because I fucking guarantee Clinton would fucking...
She would destroy that by comparison. By comparison,
she'd roll that map up and fuck it.
Or at least Florida.
Yeah.
Especially the ones that are really the pivotal states. We will win. And
yeah, if you get all the swing states, you'll win.
Yeah, no, that's it.
Hey, here's how it works, guys. If I get more electoral votes than my opponent...
Even the fucking 538 guy would have fucking agree with you there. Whether that guy's name
Nate Silver?
Nate Silver would fucking be like, yeah, okay, yeah, you'd win.
Oh, what an amazing...
As it stands right now, if the election happened now or then, you're losing by...
1 trillion points.
All the points.
1 trillion points.
He's essentially dug himself a hole that he cannot get out of.
Nate Silver, last time I looked at it, was like 78% Clinton.
You will see things happen for the evangelicals you will see things happen that you wouldn't believe. And
he doesn't even name what they are. Whoa. You'll see things happen. You won't believe them. They'll be bad, not good.
What, like the rapture? What are we talking about here?
And plus, these are evangelicals. They'll believe anything. That's their thing.
It's true.
It's like that's their claim to fame.
Exactly.
That's what they love.
They love believing things.
They're like, believe.
Yeah.
Fuck it. I don't even care what it is.
I don't even know what it is. I don't know anything about it. I'll believe it right now. I'll believe it sight unseen.
You don't have to say what it is, and I believe it. There's a red man with goat legs and a pitchfork, and he tells us to eat sugar. Yes, absolutely. Like that guy.
Sounds reasonable.
Really, most importantly, for religion, you're going to see things happen. For religion.
He's just pandering so hard.
So bad.
He's pandering so hard.
For religion. And now he's going to clarify the religions in a second, but he's certainly not talking about Islam.
Right.
Here.
I know. But he panders so hard he could work up a sweat doing it.
He's fucking amazing at it.
All religions.
All religions? All religions, Don? All religions? Let's hear.
So important. So I hope you can spread the word. On November 8th, I hope you can get everybody out. And before then, they have early ballots, especially in Florida.
They have them especially?
What's the especially?
Wait, why would they especially? And he's saying that because they're really old in Florida and nobody can even
I got to give you guys enough lead time.
Actually, is there any way we can get fucking Saul Goodman to go deliver them to fucking any of the old folks' homes? Can he smuggle them in his fucking hat?
You either have early voting or you don't have early voting. You can't have it more much.
But we really like it in Florida.
Right?
We're old.
I have.
And we can't actually get to the polls.
That's amazing.
Because of our age.
They have early ballots, and you could sign hundreds of thousands of early ballots for people that can't get out to vote.
No shit. That's what early ballot is for, dude. You don't have to explain it. They know what it is. They're all old.
For just about everybody. And whatever you can do, I would appreciate. I say pray for me. I pray for you. But I want to just say that whatever you can do, this will be an election that will go down in the history books.
Every election goes into the history books. Even the one Mondale was in is in the history books. The one Dukakis is in. We recognize that those ones went down in the history books too.
Yeah, they write it down every time somebody becomes president.
Someone will write it down, Don.
Hey, who's the next one? Did anyone write that down?
Nobody paid attention. No? Nobody really paid attention when Donald Trump became czar of America. Nobody paid attention to that.
And for the evangelicals, for the Christians, for the everybody.
For the everybody. For the everybody.
I've only named two things. One, of course, is in the Venn diagram of the other thing.
Right?
It's
amazing.
Big circle,
right?
Little circle.
I love all the hamburgers and the Whoppers.
I love all of the ground meats.
Right? That's amazing.
And taco meat. And Sloppy Joe.
This man cannot be the leader of a thing. How is he the leader of a thing?
Nacho meat.
God, he's an inarticulate bastard.
Spaghetti meat.
he's like that Bubba Gum shrimp guy.
He's like the guy from that movie with the dogs where he's like,
oh yeah, that like, Best in Show.
Macadamia nut. Green macadamia nut. Red pistachio nut.
For everybody of religion, this will be maybe the most important election that our country's ever had. So go out and spread the word. And once I get in, I will do my thing that I do very well.
I'll do my thing. I do it good. I'm a thing doer. Thinging is what I do. Doing is what I think.
I will do the thing that I do very well.
This is amazing.
Oh, thank God, Donald. Thank you so much.
As if somebody...
I was worried. I was so worried, Don, that you weren't going to do the thing that you do well. I thought you were going to do the thing you do badly. And you were going to do that while you were in office. But now I'm reassured that you're going to do the thing you do well, which is get divorced. So...
And then later hit on my daughter.
Yeah.
He's such a creepy dude. But
he is creepy.
I'm going to do the thing that I do very well. Mm-hmm. That's the sentence he chose to use in a persuasive argument.
And I figure it's probably maybe the only way I'm going to get to heaven. So I better do a good job. Okay?
What?
That's just a joke. It's just a joke. I know. It's just a joke at the end. I don't care about that one. That's the part that I don't care about. It's funny that that's what Right Wing Watch leads off with, and it's clearly a joke. It's clearly him joking around. It's made to get a laugh out of the audience.
And it worked.
And it worked.
Yeah, it got a laugh.
And that's the thing that they lit off with. What about the part that he's so fucking inarticulate? He's going to do the thing that he does so well in the fucking Kid in Office. What about that? That's terrifying, Right Wing Watch. Get on the fucking ball here. That's scary as shit, man. Are you fucking kidding me? Do you want that guy on? No. Fuck. Like, are you kidding me?
This is a guy who is going to negotiate with Putin and get destroyed. He will. The rest of the world is looking.
Him and Putin are going to be doing fucking blow off a hooker's ass.
They're like best friends.
You know what I mean? Like, they're besties. They're going to lose their car somewhere and have to go on a fucking wacky, zany adventure.
Donald,
you know what I mean?
Donald and Putin, like in Where's My Borscht or whatever.
Where's my borscht?
Dude, where's my borscht? Comrade, where's my borscht?
There's more of this. We want to play another one. This is from the same place. This is when he's talking about church attendance going up when he's president.
Jesus, this is great too.
And if you've looked what's happened to religion, if you look at what's happening to Christianity, and you look at the number of people going to churches, and the evangelicals know this also, it's not on this kind of a climb, it's on this kind of a climb. Slow and steady in the wrong direction. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that you've been silenced.
Yeah.
One guy agrees, Don. Guy.
I love that he's able to yell out. Like, he's been silenced. He's like, I agree that I have been silenced. Wait a minute. You're doing silence wrong.
Someone snipped the stitches out of his mouth.
Right, yeah. You've been silenced. That's why you're so important that the future potential president of the United States is seeking your
no kidding,
fucking
right?
vote,
like,
right?
And it doesn't matter which fucking side you are, Democrat or Republican, you've essentially got to let them finish on your face.
Right.
You've got to say, yeah, fucking Reverend Falwell or whoever the fuck they're, whatever fucking giant evangelical fucking mogul is there. They've got to be able to say, yeah, well, we want you to do the things we want you to do. Yeah, exactly. And hold your eyes open. Hold your eyes open. No, I'm going to get a champagne glass for you.
Oh, Jesus.
You've been silenced. Like a child has been silenced. You've been silenced.
I love that they buy that shit, too.
They
love that shit. Like,
well, that's the underdog syndrome, though.
I know.
It's the underdog syndrome, and people love it when you tell them that they're the underdog, but they're powerful, right? What he's doing is he's creating a narrative here that they love to hear, which is, you guys have been silenced, but you have it in you to have your voice heard because what you have to say is important, and you're powerful people.
Strong, brilliant, great people.
Good.
See, did you hear what he said? Yeah. He's like, strong, brilliant, great people have been silenced. I mean, he's doing the exact, I didn't even have to hear him say it to know that he was going to say it.
He's going to do it.
They want to do the right thing. We're not talking about bad people. We're talking about great people.
What? Can we stop talking in terms that fucking second graders use? We're not talking about bad people. We're talking about great people. We're not talking about good. Are you kidding me? My son would come up with better adjectives for fucking Pokemon cards. But bad, good, great. It's absurd.
It really is.
It's absurd.
It's the first words you learn.
Jesus, man, it really is. Like,
yeah,
this is baby talk.
In the first books that I've read, I know that those were some of the very first words you learned.
He's using hop on pop language.
Yeah, dude.
He's using fucking green eggs and ham
this
language.
This is the kind of guy who should give a monologue on the fucking Great Space Coaster.
That's it. Don't do that, Donald. Don't do that, Donald. Don't do that, Donald. Okay? Great people. And I said that I'm going to take this into my own hands because I'm good at this. This is where Pastor Jeffers is right. This is what I'm good at.
What are you good at? You haven't named anything yet. All you're doing is saying goods and bads.
And like you said, too, right? You're right there. But every single speech is him fucking ejaculating on himself.
He loves himself,
he's like,
man.
I can come across my own chest like nobody else.
this is a guy who is familiar with his own taste.
Yeah,
right. Like,
exactly. Right. Yeah. He knows when he ate a little too much pineapple.
Gnarly.
He knows when he had a little too much pineapple.
Shrimp scampi. Hey. I'm still in it. I'm still in it to win it.
Gross. That's gross. I mean, no, shrimp scampi's disgusting. That's what that's gross.
And I started telling people about it because it really had an impact on them. We're people of silence that are really our finest people.
You haven't said anything.
It's all just pronouns and fucking.
He hasn't said, I'm going to do the thing that I do. It's great. It's good people, bad people. I told the people I would do the thing about. What? You haven't said anything. You haven't said anything yet. You haven't said a thing. Nothing has happened. This is the worst story I've ever heard ever. How is this guy a major political candidate?
Like when a coworker comes in and starts telling you a story, and you stop paying attention. You're like typing, so you stop paying attention, and then they're like, yeah, and then I put the strap on, and you're like, wait, what? Wait, what? What? Hold on a second. I missed all of it up till now. Can you go back to the beginning? Because I'm curious, Father, how you got to the strap on, you know?
And their power has been taken away. Your power has been totally taken away. I mean, I don't want to insult anybody, but your power has been totally taken away. This will be so great for religion.
What would be so great? You haven't named anything. This is going to be great. This is exactly what Sam Harris said, right? It's great. It's going to be so great. You won't believe how great this is going to be. Sam Harris was literally making fun of him. And then he turned around and said almost that verbatim.
Exactly. It's crazy.
This man.
It's very crazy. It's so crazy.
How crazy.
You won't believe how crazy it is.
I can't possibly understand how somebody listens to that and is like, that's my guy.
Yeah, I know.
That is my guy. Literally anybody else. You could get a corpse and Weekend at Bernie's that thing with a fucking tape recorder of a screech owl inside its rotten corpse, and it would be a better candidate.
It just stands up there. And there's a handful of people in the audience nodding. Yeah, no, I'm with the screech owl.
You know,
no, I like how you think.
But it would be so great for the evangelicals, for the pastors, for the ministers, for the priests, for America. No, they took away your voice. They took away the voice of great people. They took away the voice of people that want to see good things happen.
It's the same thing, just in the reverse order. It's the same exact thing. He just reversed the syntax. He yoded that shit. He straight yoded it. Good it will be. It will be good, yes. America great, yes. Great America.
I don't want to live here anymore.
There are people like, oh, he makes a fine point. He makes a fine point. What a.
Oh my God. So all the other ones, like all the other presidential candidates, couldn't beat a guy who says it's going to be great. It'll be the good stuff. You know, the good stuff, that great stuff. It'll be good. What do you say? They couldn't beat him, man. They couldn't beat him. What the fuck does that say about our fucking world? What does that say about us?
It doesn't say anything good, man.
Oh God.
It doesn't.
No, and I'm talking to anybody in our audience, any single person that's a Trump fan, anybody that is thinking I'm going to vote for Trump. And I don't want to hear from the people who are doing it just to spite Hillary, because I don't care what you think, right? That doesn't bother me. You do what you do. It's your fucking vote. You do what you got to do.
But people ardently support this guy.
The people, if there's anybody in our audience that actively supports Trump, I want you to listen to this speech, and I want you to fucking tell me, one, what the fuck is he talking about? Because clearly you have a fucking Trump to English dictionary that I don't have.
It just got one word. It's great.
But seriously, fucking, I want to know like why this guy inspires you. Because I mean, when we come right down to it, a politician is an orator,
right?
And this guy's the worst at all of it.
He's just literally terrible. He can't speak at all. It's like this isn't his first or second language.
It really isn't. He sounds fucking functionally illiterate.
It's just amazing.
I'm surprised this guy can sign his own name.
It's not like they took away a bad voice, an evil voice. They took away a voice, and I mean took it away.
They took it away, and I mean they took it away.
You say the same things over and over and over again. I just fucking, what the fuck? What the fuck? It's like you're not paying attention to the conversation, but you're the only fucking person in the conversation.
It's amazing. Oh, I can't. I'm laughing so hard.
Okay. All right, let's see if he picks it up here at the end.
I'm sweating. I'm laughing so hard.
Because when you were up, I think two people in this room were there actually, but if you were in that room with me, they were silent. They didn't want to get involved with good things. So.
I quit the show. I'm done. I'm never doing this again. I'm done. I quit the show.
Good people.
I quit the show.
Good things. God. Good places.
It's gonna take all the power that I have not to go home and fucking eat a bullet. I can't believe this is the world we live in. I seriously cannot.
We're going to put it together, and we actually put it in the platform. And I have to say the Republicans were great.
The Republicans were great.
You're the Republicans. It's not the other guys. I like the Republican. You're an actual Republican.
Yeah, you're the head of the party now.
There you go. And we'll get it approved, too. We'll get it out. We'll be able to terminate the Johnson Amendment. And you'll have great power to do good things.
At this point,
will it come with great responsibility?
Tom, do you want a beer? We're gonna do a drinking game. We have one beer. One beer. We're gonna start the clip over.
Oh my God! From the beginning.
From the beginning, because we only have like 40 seseconds left. I don't know. Do you think we can get it with 40 seconds? You think we can finish this beer in 40 seconds? With
I finished a lot more in 40 seconds.
40 seconds.
40 seconds.
Jesus.
I got 30 to spare.
What is it? Sunday? All right.
What am I, a teenager?
Jesus Christ.
It's not a twofer.
We're going to try to finish this beer before the end. You drink if you hear good, great, or bad.
Regular drink.
All
right, here we go.
And religion will start going, instead of this way, I mean, Christianity. When you think of what's happening, you look at the numbers. I talk about Sunday school. People don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. It's true. They don't know what I'm talking about. When you look, instead of going this way, you're going to be going this way. You may be going this way, but you're going to be going, we're going to bring it back.
He just keeps waving his arm. And the best part is you could freeze frame any of these into a Heil Hitler salute. I'm just saying.
Again, it's upward, not downward, backwards, not forward. It's the same.
It's the same thing.
Because it's a good thing.
Good thing.
It's a good thing.
He said it again.
Oh, shit.
They treated you like it was a bad thing.
A bad thing?
But it's a great thing, not a good thing. It's a great thing.
Not a bad thing. It's really like a bad thing, but it's really a great thing. Fucking idiot. Oh my God.
I am the Lizard Queen.
So, Tom, this is chapter 10 of David Icke's book, The Biggest Secret. We are going to be now. We did get a question this week from somebody who's a new listener, wanted to know why we were doing it. We started reading this book several months at this point ago.
Yeah.
because we wanted to read something, a lot of our other fellow podcasters were reading things, and we thought, we should probably try to read something too. And all the holy books were already taken, and we figured this would be a fun book to read. So we started reading it. It's not a fun book to read.
It's a terrible read.
But we do every week come up with a quiz that each of us contribute to, and then we come up with a synopsis. And sometimes, like today, my wife reads a little chapter for us. So a little piece of the chapter anyway. So let's get started with the quiz, and then we'll do our synopsis, and then we will have a reading of David Icke's Biggest Secret, Chapter 10. So let's get started with the quiz. You had more questions than me, so why don't you go first?
All right. Cecil, economic boom and bust cycles exist to steal the true wealth of the world. Quantum fourth-dimensional space reptiles need wealth because A, you can't take a Greyhound bus back to the Draco constellation.
It's true.
B, the cost of all those grub worms adds up quick. C, by confiscating your house and your car and your stuff, the reptile people control the regular people, which they want to do so they can control the wealth, which they want to do so they can control the people, which they want to do so they can control the wealth, which they want to do so they... Fuck it. D, because bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks.
Definitely D. All right, so...
Christ.
The Babylonian Brotherhood control A, the stock market, B, the Federal Reserve,
yes,
C, the IRS, D, the U.S. government / the Virginia Company, E, the media so you don't find out what they control, or F, literally all this stuff because their goal is to achieve total global control and they still haven't done it, which is like playing a game of Monopoly where you own almost the entire board with hotels and you beat your opponents to death with an axe handle, but you're waiting for the right time to buy Connecticut Avenue.
That one.
It is literally all this stuff, yes.
Cecil, the Rothschild's symbol is what? A, the red shield, also used by the Salvation Army. B, the actual color red. C, the hexagram. D, all the fucking symbols. Like fucking any actual symbol. Just fucking name one in any color and anywhere at any time. A can of Coke? No problem. It's red like the revolution, Russian Jews, Israel created by the Rothschilds. Coke cans are Roth's children. They are actually little tiny Roth people.
It's that one.
It's that one. That's an example of his logic trick.
It really is. The Rothschilds.
Yes, here we go.
A, had a member of their ancient household sire 70 children, prompting David to wonder how someone could find time to fuck 70 plus times in their adult life. B,
I know he does seem amazed by that.
Like, where did he find the time? I don't know. All he had to do was fucking insert his semen. It really doesn't take a long time. He might have been like Tom.
Let's see, 70 times 30 seconds. You got 35 minutes of work. That's 34 minutes more work than I've ever done.
In the refractory period, it's 37 minutes. B, excluded women of the family and their households from any wealth left to them in wills. Because even though being a reptile is passed down in the female's genes, she can't wear the pants in the family. C, hid their origins through titles. But you can always call the Mormons for a reptile Carfax. D, have their own little-known country called Israel. E, inspired the Salvation Army logo. Or F, all of the above.
All of the above.
It is all the above.
Last one, Cecil. Why does the Brotherhood keep track of who sires who? A, because descendants of the bloodline are easiest to plug into the reptiles on the lower fourth dimension. B,
it is that.
So they can get the friends and family discount on their Columbia House DVD Club memberships.
Also that too.
C, because the reptile people are secretly also Mormons and totally into Ancestry.com. Or D, so they can make little iguana-shaped baby blankets.
It's A.
It's A.
All right, so here's my synopsis.
All right.
For Chapter 10.
Bring it home, buddy.
Loans aren't real. There's more.
You could have stopped there.
But with them, you can buy real stuff. And this makes David real angry.
I'm so mad.
That when you default, the bank can take away your real estate. The Rothschilds are mostly reptiles, but he won't tell us which ones. He doesn't want to start a witch hunt or have his fucking pantsuit on. And the federal income tax and Federal Reserve were created in 1913 because the stars aligned. They literally did.
I know.
The stars literally aligned.
Lined up. And so that's why there's an IRS.
There's an IRS, evidently.
That's amazing.
So this is the chapter, the piece of the chapter that Sarah read for us. Now, this is going to get into some of the monetary things that he talks about in this chapter, which we will get tons of email about.
So much email.
This apparently complex, but ultimately simple network of banking, business, politics, media, and secret societies controls the world on behalf of the Brotherhood operational headquarters in London. The control of money and banking via the Rothschilds and others are crucial to this. One of the Brotherhood's most important coups was the creation in 1913 of the Federal Reserve, the so-called Central Bank of the United States. It is neither federal nor has any reserve.
So mad.
It is a cartel of private banks owned by the 20 founding families, mostly European, which today decides the interest rates for the United States and lends non-existent money, figures on a screen, to the U.S. government on which the taxpayers have to pay interest.
I love that he constantly goes back to non-existent money. He keeps saying non-existent money. Well, with that non-existent money, I can buy real things.
Money is and always has just been a concept. That's
Right.
what David Icke doesn't seem to get. He's upset that it's not backed up by physical paper, right? But at one point physical paper was backed up by gold, but gold isn't any more valuable than fucking hot dogs.
Sure.
Right? We're all just agreeing that this is the item we use to barter. It's no different than beads or seashells. It's all bullshit. It's all at its heart, it's all bullshit, which is why would reptiles travel across interstellar space to agree that our fucking concept is a value concept? Like, they're not like, well, I fucking ran out of money on Draco planet. I got to go to Earth and get money. It's a fucking literally the dumbest shit I've ever heard. It can't make less sense.
This is what we call the American deficit. It is fresh air.
Fresh air.
Fresh air. Terry Gross.
Terry Gross. And Terry, anytime you want to come on the show, Terry, you're welcome.
If Terry Gross would be on the show, I would quit the show. I'd be like, you know, my seat, my microphone, my computer.
I'd interview the fuck out of Terry Gross. Are you kidding me?
Would you really?
Absolutely.
She would turn those tables. It's like saying like, I would fuck the hell out of Angelina. No, she'll fuck you.
Yeah.
Terry Gross doesn't get interviewed. She interviews, buddy. You're in her house now. She fucking spikes the mic.
Everybody, she splats the mic out of my face. She's like, get that weak shit out of here. Get out of it. I own this house.
This is when Terry Gross is stepping to you. Fucking chest up.
The federal government of the United States does not own a single share in the Federal Reserve, and the American citizens cannot purchase them.
Why would I need shares? It's not a private corporation. It's not a publicly traded corporation.
It's not like in the stock market we can.
Right.
Yeah.
That's not.
It doesn't even make any sense.
That's not how any of this works.
Profits exceed $150 billion a year, and the Federal Reserve has not once in all its history published audited accounts. This income is assured because, number one, the Brotherhood control the United States government.
He kind of put his own quiz in here, by the way.
I know he
Number
did.
one
I know.
The Virginia Company, under another name, which continues to borrow money from the Fed. And two, they also control the privately owned Internal Revenue Service, IRS, the illegal terrorist organization which collects the taxation from the people. And three, it controls the media to ensure that people never find out about 1 and 2.
Well, how did you find out?
You heard about it, David?
It's fucking who tells this guy? It's all fucking Credo Mutwa. It's the only thing. The only reason anyone knows anything.
It's got to channel him through a Ouija board.
Just talk to Credo.
So we want to thank our newest patrons: Ellen, Sin, Christian, Brendan, Nicholas, the Norwegian Anaconda, Carrie, Ian, Timothy, Conrad, Glory Hole Grail Gulper, Sasho, Benjamin, Scott, Shane, Rodney, Krolf, Michael, Siphon, the Python, Abigail, Daniel, Dave, Rachel, Nathan, Christopher, Jared, Canaan, Heathen Street Preacher, Sophie, Delancey Music, Christopher, David, Luke, Stephen, Zachary, Annax Mander, John, Amanda, Corey, Mike, Lawrence, Scott, Vincent, James, Victor, Hobo Batman.
Hobo Batman is great.
Lindsay, Jameson, Slam Nasty, Dave, Travis, David, Dave Nichols of the Positively Doubtful podcast, David, Schofield, and Caitlin. Thank you very much for your generous donations. We're going to give away 3 books here.
Yep. We got.
We just got a couple of books here.
Advanced copies of Chris Matheson's Story of God and Cecil. They're signed.
They are signed.
They are signed by the one, the only, the inimitable, the author, Chris Matheson.
So Story of God's going to be coming out on paperback next month, early next month. I think it's the 1st of, I think it's 2 months. 1st of October, I think it's coming out. So these are advanced copies. Right now, what I'm going to do is a first copy we're going to give away right now is to someone who pledged last week. So I'm going to pull a number, and I'm going to tell you who won.
All right, here we go.
Kanan. Kanan wins. So
all
Kanan, you won an awesome book by Chris Matheson. So get in touch with us. So you're going to receive that book. We're also going to give another book away right now to one of our other patrons. So not someone who did last week. Another patron right now is going to get the book. I'm going to pick a number.
A random patron?
A random patron.
Here we go. No whammies.
Melissa H. I will send you a direct message, Melissa, so that you'll know that you won a book. Next week, we have one more of these books to give away.
We do indeed.
So next week, we're going to give a book to one of the patrons that signs up between now and next week.
We had a PayPal donation. From Michael. Michael, thank you so much for your generous donation. Remember, PayPal is another way to donate to the show. Just go to dissonancepod.com, click on donate, and you can support the show.
We got a message from Keith, and Keith said he was listening to some older episodes, and he just finished episode 29 where we called out Santorum for being an undercover racist for nearly calling poor people black people. And he said, 2012, the good old days when our candidates were undercover racists.
I love it. But I don't love it. It makes me so sad.
Gosh. Fucking Santorum's way more articulate than Trump. Way more articulate. All right, Tom. We got a message from Sherry, and Sherry has a poem in this message. So why don't you read Sherry's poem?
She does indeed. Here's Sherry's poem. I am trapped in a nightmare I cannot escape, forced to watch as a cancerous tumor takes shape. While the GOP twiddled their thumbs like some schmuck, they failed to control the smug narcissistic fuck. All the low-hanging fruit have come out in support, toting guns, low IQs, shouting time to deport. Did he really just say that he has the best words? How can anyone think that this bigoted turd could lead the free world without killing us all, or have Mexico pay for and build him a wall? He has Voight, Christy Palin, Ted Nugent, and Sheen, and Phil Robertson, that hate-spewing bigot machine. I'd rather be forced to watch nonstop Fox News or change the man diaper of Crybaby Cruz. The Donald for Prez is the worst thing I've heard. To the rest of the world, it's downright absurd. Nothing can make me more queasy or nauseous than the thought of this douchebag in the Oval Office. So if it turns out that those small orange hands take control of our country and all of its land, I'll kiss her goodbye, bid America farewell, and concede God is real, because we'd all be in hell.
I will say one thing that's worse than Don in the Oval Office is in your oval orifice.
Pretty much, I got pretty much the best cock.
I got pretty much the smallest hands.
It's gonna be great. You won't believe how great it's gonna be.
You with 2 hands, one in each hole.
Jesus, man.
Shake hands in the middle. It's okay. I got little hands. We got an awesome image. It's fucking awesome image.
It's so funny.
We're talking about when Trump gets in office. This is from Daniel, by the way, and Daniel sent us a message, which is the monthly temperature average for Chicago, and it shows September. When Trump would let the bomb fly as being 15 million degrees. And the best part is he put a mustache, like we were talking about Snapchatting the end of the world. He put a mustache. Put a mustache on the mushroom cloud. So we're going to put a picture of this in this episode's show notes. This is episode 311. We got a message from Javier
So gross.
And he's like, listening to the most recent episode, I wanted to expand on Cincinnati chili. He's a Texan, and he said he wound up in Cincinnati. Shortly after arriving there, I made a mistake of tasting what the locals call chili. It's a slap in the face to food. Some asshole decided a ground meat with clove, allspice, and cinnamon tasted good. Oh, God.
Those are pie spices,
that
man.
Sounds so bad. God. And the worst part is that it really does have a pumpkin pie look to it. Like it really is so gross. It's basically baby shit on fucking noodles. I mean,
why? That's not how you meat.
It's horrifying.
No,
that's not a food.
It's not right.
This week, we received an Icke, and this Icke is from Aaron, and Aaron won the tickets to go to Mythicist Milwaukee. Going to be going to the conference up there. Free tickets provided by the Mythicist Milwaukee show. Thanks, guys, for providing the tickets. This is going to be a conference. It's going to be coming up in October. You can find out all about it on mythicistmilwaukee.com. And we'll put a link in this episode's show notes so you can take a look at it. But all you need to do is go to the website and you can find out about the tickets that are on sale for October 21st. And it's going to be a great conference. Also, Thomas from Thomas in the Bible is going to be there. He's going to be giving a talk there. If I was not in Europe, I would absolutely be there to cheer him on and heckle him from the audience.
Heckle the motherfucker.
It would be fucking amazing. But anyway, I want to read this haiku because this is the person who won. Tied around a pole, not to a pole, he is not a real lizard.
That's funny.
That is from Aaron.
It's great.
Aaron, thank you for participating.
Thank you very much.
In the contest. We got an interesting message from Benjamin, and Benjamin talks about, and I'll put a video link to this. This is CP Gray's video about voting, and the voting is called alternative voting, and he talks about this. We're not going to play the video, but we will post a link to it on our website for this episode 311. It's interesting. It's basically ranking people. So instead of just having a two-party system, you have as many people as are running, say 5, 10 people or whatever, and you just rank who you would like first, second, third, and then the people, like, they basically take it when people lose the race, when people are not in the race anymore, they say they only got 5 or 6% of the vote, you would then take their percentage and add it to the person who is closest, I guess, that most of the people who voted for them voted for.
Right. It's a really interesting system. I think it would result in the idea is to end the type of voting we have now, which is the kind of voting I admit to doing, which is strategic voting.
Yeah. Lesser of two evil votings.
Right. Yeah.
We got a message, and this is from Scott, and Scott did not like Michael A. Wood on the show. He sent a long email to that fact. I found the email. I don't know that I agreed with you a lot, Scott, on it, but one of the things that I think is interesting, and this happens a lot, whenever people don't like a show that we did, like especially an interview, if they don't like the show, what they'll say is, normally you guys are real clear thinking. And then they'll say something like that, and then they'll start listing the problems with the show. We had a conversation with someone. Now, you may not agree with that person at all, and that's fine. And it's fine not to agree with them. I imagine there was a lot of people that listened to last week's show that heard that guy and said, I don't agree with that guy. I don't think he has anything to sell me. It's okay to disagree with people. But you don't need to tell them that they didn't think clearly because they introduced you to a viewpoint you might not have heard before. There's nothing that has anything to do with thinking clearly on that. And I think that I understand that maybe you want to have some pushback here, but to say that, we're not thinking clearly about this, we just had him on as a guest. I don't know that I agreed with everything he said anyway. I mean, there was some stuff he was talking about specifically when he was talking about Oxycontin, and he's talking about how doctors are prescribing it and then people are going on. I don't know if that's true. And not only that, I don't think it's some sort of weird conspiracy with doctors. I don't know that that's what he meant, because when I was editing it, I sort of listened to it and thought, I don't know that I agree with that. But when I'm having a conversation with someone, I don't normally push back against them because this isn't a debate show. I'm not here to debate Michael Wood. What I'm here to do is talk to him and listen to what his ideas are. And then you make your decisions based on that. I listen to all kinds of stuff. So I listen to Joe Rogan and Milo Yiannopoulos, or that guy is that dangerous faggot guy. I listen to that whole Joe Rogan episode.
Yeah.
I don't like Milo really at all, but I listen to the whole thing. And I didn't send Joe Rogan a message that said he wasn't thinking clearly because he had Milo on. Like, you can have Milo on. I don't care. I want to hear what he has to say because I want to hear a differing viewpoint. Just because someone disagrees with you doesn't mean that they're stupid or that they don't have anything to say.
You know, one thing I want to talk about from this email too, and we occasionally get things like this, and I see this sort of all over the place. You know, it says, I'm going to read directly, but the media never shows that stuff. The media hides the daily crazy black on white and black on black crime. Blah blah blah. You should ask yourself why you never see any of that on MSNBC or CNN. The media is hiding all of this. And I'm moving. The media hiding all this actually is ahead of that, so I don't want to misquote. I don't know where you're getting it if you're not getting it from the media. I don't understand that. You know, that's this. There's a sort of line that you hear all the time. It says you know the media doesn't tell you this. Well, what other source of information other than literally from media? What other source of information do you have? I would like, and this is genuine. Like, if you're not getting your information from some sort of media, where are you getting your information from? There must be some magical, well of information from whence this springs that I somehow have never heard of or don't have access to, but is at the same time more honest and accurate than the media sources, right?
That I'm consuming.
Right.
Yeah.
So I would like to know what what is that? Where are those sources? Why don't I have access to them? Or maybe I do have access and just don't know. I mean, what?
Yeah. What is it?
But anytime I hear that, like the media doesn't want to tell you, like that's some fucking Alex Jones InfoWars shit, right? Let's see, it's no different.
We got an interesting image. This is from Michael. I'm going to post it. It has something to do with Pastor Manning and coffee.
It's great.
So take a look on this episode show notes.
That guy's a delight.
Got a message from Tom, and Tom said, what were you guys hearing when you guys visited the Ark? Did you overhear anything good? Was there stunned silence? Or were they talking about it, kind of? And I have to admit, a lot of it was in silence. People were not talking out loud. But I did overhear some parents basically saying, like sort of explaining exhibits to kids.
Sure.
I heard that a lot. I heard a lot of parents reading or sort of summarizing what was written on the walls to help the children understand why, there's no more dinosaurs, but there's a fucking cage full of dinosaurs here.
That's so confusing.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be crazy confusing for the kids, right? We have a great, I'll tell you what, all us fucking atheists have our story nailed down. It's pretty easy, you know?
Sure, it's super simple.
Yeah.
Like, why did this happen? Oh, don't worry, that's all nonsense.
Yeah.
That's it.
Or the other way is like, yeah, well, they were here a long time ago. They're not here anymore.
Yeah, that works too.
Kind of hard when there's a condensed timeline.
Yeah, I know. Like when you've only got 6,000 years to work with.
Not a lot of the years to work with, so to speak. All right, so next week, it's going to be our great hope. We're not sure then when it's going to happen, but it's our great hope we're going to be on one of the god-awful movies coming up soon. Another thing that's going to be happening very soon is we're going to be doing a Vulgarity for Charity at the end of this month, beginning of next month, with the god-awful movie Scathing Atheist crew. We're going to be tag teaming to try to really drum up and beat the bushes and get a goodly sum of funds to go to a charity. That charity has not 100% been decided yet.
But it's going to be a good one.
Yeah,
it hasn't been decided because we've been really trying to find something that we think will motivate.
Yeah, we definitely want to get something that we think will motivate people, and that doesn't mind that we're going to be doing vulgarity for it. Those two things sometimes don't intersect, but we're going to be doing our very best to try to find a really good charity for everyone to donate to at the end of the month. We'll be keeping you posted. We're going to be donating a good chunk of Patreon money to this as well as a way to match funds. So we hope that people will be involved in that. But I don't think anything else is coming up. We're going to try to get in touch with Stuart, like we said before, because we're on Chapter 11. We're going to have Stuart on for Chapter 12. So we're coming up on that too. But it should be pretty interesting. Interesting couple of weeks, and we're excited for the charity and then to work with the Scathing Atheist crew. So that should be good.
It should be a great time. Looking forward to watching God's Not Dead. That should be awesome.
Let's wrap the show up.
All right. What should we leave them with?
We should leave them with
my shitty poem.
Tom's work of art.
Credulity is not a virtue. It's fortune cookie cutter, mommy issue, hypno-Babylon bullshit. Couched in scientician, double bubble, toil and trouble, pseudo quasi alternative, acupunctuating, pressurized, stereogram, pyramidal, free energy healing, watered downward spiral, brain deadpan sales pitch, late night info docutainment. Leo, Pisces, cancer cures, detox, reflex, foot massage, death in towers, tarot cards, psychic healing, crystal balls, Bigfoot, Yeti, aliens, churches, mosques, and synagogues, temples, dragons, giant worms, Atlantis, dolphins, truthers, birthers, witches, wizards, vaccine nuts, shaman healers, evangelists, conspiracy, doublespeak, stigmata, nonsense. Expose your sides. Thrust your hands, bloody, evidential, conclusive. Doubt even this.
The opinions and views expressed in this show are that of the hosts only. Our poorly formed and expressed notions do not represent those of our wives, employers, friends, families, or of the local dairy council.